I think when you have that kind of spirit where it's like, I want to make everything myself, I want to be creative, and I don't really want a boss, then it's like the only next step to progress as an adult is be your own boss and create everything from scratch.
Scratch Entrepreneur. True stories of remarkable people who dropped everything to turn an idea into a healthy, profitable business.
Adam and Alicia Sweet are proprietors of King Dough Pizza. Like many partnerships, especially when the team includes spouses, they each have specific roles in the operation of their artisanal wood-fired pizza palace. Alicia runs front of house, Adam runs the kitchen, and between the two of them, they handle about 100 other daily tasks each, give or take. They're parents to a couple sweet kids, and they're passionate about their craft. Wood-fired pizza composed of ingredients made from scratch, exceptional salads, and a selection of creamy house-made gelato. They've created a special pizza experience. King Dough is not your mama's pizza place.
We're here to just make the best possible dining experience and hangout spot in Bloomington, which we feel like was not really here in this sort of capacity before we kicked the doors in and started a roaring fire. The pride that we take in the product and the environment there, which is a definite weirder environment, I feel like, than a lot of places in Bloomington, but it's kind of what sets us apart, makes us special and feel cozy. If you haven't been to the restaurant, it's very loud. There's lots of rock and roll at all times on the overhead. Kids generally running around, making racket. Any table could have a group of sorority girls being loud and catty and great, and it could also be a bunch of old men slamming beers right beside them, also being loud and raucous and great, and a family. And most importantly is our attention to detail with food and where we source it, and I don't know that there's a lot of that in Bloomington. I feel like there's a lot of smoke and mirrors across the board, really, not just a Bloomington thing. Like a lot of places say that, we try to keep it real and get what we can locally, but I feel like we definitely do. If we can make it, we do make it. If we can't make it, we try to get it as close as we possibly can.
So, tell me the story about how you guys got on the road to creating a really cool, hip, wood-fired pizza place in Bloomington. Like, you had some pizza experience before, right?
Yes, in Little Rock, Arkansas. Well, it all started with the motherhood thing, I guess, essentially. Alicia and I met here in Bloomington 10 years ago and moved back to Arkansas, where I'm from, whenever we were expecting our firstborn, Frankie. We went there and I basically hit the ground running, just looking for any job I could, which put me in a dishwashing position. And from there, I also had part-time jobs in pizza places. It's kind of always been in the peripheral of my life and everything. But yeah, I hit the ground running at Boulevard Bread Company in Little Rock, Arkansas as a dishwasher, and just quickly, I guess, realized that the culinary field was something that I was pretty excited about and wanted to take part in. So I went to the chef, Scott McGee, and I let him know that I really wanted to learn as much as I could from him and grow in the restaurant. He told me that I couldn't because I was a vegan, and that if I wanted to be a chef in his restaurant, that I would have to taste everything, which is include meat and everything. And just so happened that he just made a bunch of steak. So I picked one up immediately and took a bite and said, "I'm all yours." So, yeah, from there I just basically kept on following him and his restaurant group around, from Boulevard Bread Company to Zaza, which was also a wood-fired pizza place in Little Rock. And from there I went from just being a lowly pizza guy to an MOD to a general manager, to basically just letting them know that I really needed to take the next step, which either involved leaving the company or growing into a much more serious position in there. And they were kind enough to offer me a partnership in their Conway location of Zaza, which is a small college town, like 20 minutes outside of Little Rock. But I feel like, just like anybody else in whatever career they have or field that they are most excited about, they want to take the next step. They don't want to just be stagnant and keep on doing. And in that business, I was the little guy whenever it came down to it, and I wanted to basically be the big guy, for lack of a better term. I wanted to be able to like take care of everything, have it specifically the way that I wanted it, and something that I was most excited about. And being there, I couldn't do that because I didn't want to step on their toes. I felt like it would be totally disrespectful to walk out and do what I was really excited about, was wood-fired pizza, but they were also doing it just a little bit different than we were. From there, we just basically, all of our friends in Bloomington were doing really well, opening up great restaurants and great businesses, and we just really wanted to come back to Bloomington. It's a great town. We love it. We have a lot of connections, and nobody was doing wood-fired pizza justice, at least. So basically, yeah, I went to Phoenix, Arizona to buy a wood-fired oven on a 57 Chevy truck bed in the dead of July in a truck with no air conditioning. It was terrifying, and basically immediately made plans to move to Bloomington. We moved here, and immediately I was having like cold sweats at night, like, oh my God, did I just totally ruin my entire, like, my family's life? Like, are we gonna crash and burn? That lasted a good few months. It just like waking up every morning and staring at the ceiling and like, what did I do? With the help of like Cardinal Spirits, Rainbow Bakery, Hopscotch, so many different places that were willing, the Owlery, the Back Door, so many places that were willing to let us either prepare our food there for catering events or anything. We were able to build a small name for ourselves and reputation for ourselves. And yeah, eventually Max's shut down and we moved in.
King Dough Pizza has a sweet spot on the downtown square in Bloomington, Indiana. They've remodeled the main level of a gorgeous 1930s brick building, turning it into a unique pizza joint that's warm and friendly and ultra cool and hip at the same time. Enormous windows span the front of the shop, and a big glass door welcomes you with the scent of fresh dough, herbs growing in the windows, roasted vegetables, roasted herbs, and melted cheese. We like to sit at the bar directly in front of the big, red, Italian wood-fired oven. It's mesmerizing to watch the fire, and watching the guys make the pizzas is like watching artists. Prior to King Dough moving in, the restaurant was home to a pizza place called Max's, which was a super chill place with pretty tasty pizza. It was an especially great place to go as a family because there were always kids running around. But Max's closed, and a lot of people were heartbroken. Meanwhile, King Dough Pizza was operating out of the 57 Chevy trailer oven, providing their remarkable pizzas on the regular at Rainbow Bakery, Food Truck Friday, and tons of events around Bloomington. When Max's closed, King Dough filled the void with a roaring fire.
Yeah, actually, the guy who bought the building hunted us down.
Nice.
Like, he'd heard of King Dough, and with it being a pizza place previously, I guess he just thought that with the momentum we were picking up and the equipment that was already there, he was like, these guys would be extremely easy tenants to just move in and take over versus totally gutting the place.
Smart.
Which we totally gutted the place regardless, and did a major overhaul of the space and put in a Italian wood-fired oven, shipped over. Yeah, our oven traveled many, many miles to come to Bloomington.
When I first talked with Adam and Alicia about sharing their story, they emphasized that they wanted to shed some light on their experience with crowdfunding to start a brick-and-mortar version of King Dough. I didn't know a lot about crowdfunding before this interview. I understood the basics from my experience with friends who raised money to cover the cost of publishing their daughter's book, and other friends who used GoFundMe to raise money to cover medical expenses. But I didn't know how the whole thing works for businesses. Helping friends publish a book and pay for medical bills is something we do because we care and because it feels good. Why would someone pitch in their own cash to help a stranger start a business? Something had to be in it for the investors. The crowdfunding concept is pretty simple. A person or business proposes an idea, other people support the idea, and a platform of some sort facilitates the connection of each side. You've probably heard of online platforms designed to help fundraising efforts like Kickstarter or Local Stake. Investors range from everyday people who throw in $10 to investment groups who fund huge projects. Investors usually get something in return, whether it's the feel goods from helping a friend or a percentage of profit or ownership of a business. This kind of funding seemed perfect for Adam and Alicia. They needed serious funds to renovate the building, buy and ship an Italian wood-fired oven, and everything else it took to start King Dough. But for them, it turned out to be a tighter leash than they realized.
So we had to basically crowdsource, I'd say 90% of our funds to open up the restaurant, which I wouldn't recommend. It's not the easiest thing in the world, or it is the most stressful part of our current business, is like paying that back. There's no other option for where we were in our position, having no money and basically no name when we moved back to Bloomington. So it worked out, and luckily we sort of struck gold with King Dough, and it's keeping us busy enough that we can take care of our debts and everything. But I mean, crowdsourcing is difficult, a difficult road to take. We have to pay back 7% of our income before we ever pay any bills.
We pay them way too much money, more than we can afford, but we did it because we couldn't afford a lawyer, we couldn't afford like anyone to help us with business development, so we
had to figure it out.
Yeah.
It will definitely work out. It's working out. It's just there are easier roads, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think that what I understand from what you said about the crowdsourcing thing is sort of like that's your number one investor and they get paid back first and you just follow that model and it doesn't really matter what you make.
Right.
They're getting paid first,
There's not
period.
a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
The positive end of it is that they are silent. Like they have no say in your company. If your business fails, you don't owe them any money.
It was a long headache-riddled road with lots of, I need you to say that you like our restaurant, X amount of people, and then I'd be like, I need you, X amount of people, to tell me how much you might be willing to invest in our restaurant. And then you have to get those people to actually commit to putting in that money. And luckily we had one of the investors who's basically just like, how about I pay for almost all of this and you just give me like a percentage of ownership in the business.
Ooh, nice.
So that is our third partner is great and very helpful. He's, I wouldn't say a quiet partner by anything, and I don't say that negatively either. I say that he's far away, so he's not in the mix at all the times.
So how did you guys get hooked up with him? He
found
found you.
On Local Stake.
Okay. And then the mutual liking of Slayer and Pantera helped out.
Nice.
Yes. I'm not really sure what the, and I guess whatever we were doing and saying on the Local Stake website, trying to promote ourselves and just seeing us on social media, that's always also been very helpful for us. I feel like we have a pretty fun social media presence, I guess. Like, we don't take it seriously. We push our serious product without being, I guess, too put into a box. Like, this is just pizza. Okay, we'll see you there. It's like we're also trying to have a good time with it.
Adam and Alicia take their craft seriously, and they've got no room for so-so stuff in their shop. If they need a top-quality product that they can buy from a local artisan, they cultivate a relationship with their food peers, and they support other local businesses through their partnerships. Otherwise, they toil and test and try again till they have their very own scratch-made ingredient. Believe me, you can tell from your first bite.
We like to make anything that we're like, this tastes really good. We have somewhere where we like buy it and we're like, man, we really love ricotta cheese. We're like, let's make it from scratch and see if we can make the perfect product. So we just keep on making it until we can get it to where we're happy with it. It's like me and learning how to make gelato. We were importing all these ingredients from Italy, and then I was like, we don't have to do that. Let's make our own preserves. Let's make our own stracciatella. Let's make our own caramel.
From local produce and local creameries.
So we would, like, summertime, we'd just, like, get as many strawberries as we could and make tons of strawberry preserves. And then blueberries came in, make as much as we could. We made strawberry fig.
That was pretty sweet.
And that was really good. So I think that we're just, like, never settled. We're always just, like, what can we do now? Okay, we got this business going. Once we get this, like, we're already like, what do we want to do next? Yeah.
So how do kids and being a mom fit in with having a business and running particularly a food and service-based business? Is that a lot to juggle?
I don't know if it fits in. You just make it work pretty much. We have a great support. We have a nanny 2 days a week, and the kids go to school. And then we have a great management team that we've kind of had to delegate and train along the way on managing, because the biggest part of our job is people managing. I think motherhood and that go line, like parenthood at least.
Patience,
and that,
learning patience.
Learning patience is really important, and you learn that mostly from your kids. You learn patience with love. So it's kind of how I like to treat my employees, try and be very patient and loving, but stern because they are adults. I don't want to treat them like children, and I don't want them ever to be like, you're momming me. It's like today I've been getting text all day, like it's been my half day off, and everybody's like, so are we doing this or are we doing this? And like, I think my motto of the day today is, bitch, did I stutter? Like, yes. Who do you think I am? Like, I'm a very definite person when I lay things out, so it's like, why are you questioning me right now? I guess that's just how I'm thinking these days.
One of the questions I love to ask fellow business owners is what advice they pay forward to fellow business owners who are just starting out. Adam and Alicia barely hesitated. They were pretty clear on what they've learned.
Hiring friends in a brand new business can be very difficult and stressful. You know that they have your best interests in mind, but they're not necessarily cut out for that specific business. Mm-hmm. Also, get a lawyer straight out of the gate to proofread things for you, because
Take out a second mortgage for one of those. Yeah. Because you really want one.
That's extremely important. We didn't have one, and we probably wouldn't have so many headaches if we had somebody to proofread things, be like, okay, you need to focus on this, you need to nix this, just help with negotiations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instead of like in our position being like, yeah, sure, whatever you say, we'll do it. Like, let's just get these doors open, let's light the fire, let's get the people in here. And of course, day one, we were packed and the fire was lit, and it was very exciting. And then at the end of that first month, you start getting all those bills. It's like, oh, damn it. Like, right. What did we do? What would number 3 be?
If you have kids, get a nanny. Nannies are great, especially the ones who will hang out at your house with your kids and put them in bed on time.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a hard one to find.
For sure.
What's been something that's been really surprising to you? Like, what's hit you like a ton of bricks and you weren't expecting it, as far as being a business owner goes?
I'd say a few things, really. Like, the support really is like really, really exciting to me from the community. Like, we had the utmost, expectation, I guess, or most pride in our product that anyone could have. We were really excited about it. We knew it was great. People would love it, but we didn't know how seriously people would be like so loyal so fast and be really excited about it and be really great.
Yeah.
And in turn, also, how closed-minded a lot of people can be, and that they come into a wood-fired pizza place and it's like, this isn't Papa John's, this isn't Pizza Hut, this is not pizza, this is only a crushed tomato for sauce in my pizza. And then they will leave you like horrible reviews and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, the restaurant is full of people every night smiling, having a great time. So it's like, we're doing something right. Like, there's no reason to sweat the haters.
Absolutely.
It's funny though, because like 4 months in, still getting a really good reaction from the community. Adam and I are still like, oh my God, they like us. It's like some of the local chefs in town who are like, I don't know, like Dave Talent people are just like highly respect, come in and hang out actually come in and talk to us and like are really friendly. And we're like, oh my gosh, it is a normal person and they like us and they're really nice. It's like, I guess to us, like the other chefs are kind of like rock stars to us.
Yeah.
Those are like your peers in your career field. It's important for them to give you the thumbs up, basically, to say like, good job, like keep it up, and have like Seth from No Coast or Chef Talent or
like support us. Yeah.
So many people that have just been like so nice to us and so helpful.
King Dough Pizza is a baby, and its first year has very clear connections with having a real human baby. Adam and Alicia conceived the idea, spent months before the actual birth preparing, nesting, and developing their idea of how things would go. Then, when it actually happened, they were awed by how much everyone loved it and how sweet and fresh it was. But the adulation came with downsides too. Sleepless nights, worry, concerns about debt hanging over their head. But here's the thing. I see a lot of new parents. Business owners that are starting something for the first time. Some have clearly never changed a diaper. They start without a plan, hoping to just haphazardly fumble through growing an idea into a healthy business. But Adam and Alicia have all of the ingredients for success. A clear vision, great branding, unrivaled quality, and the single most important attribute of a new business owner, the willingness to work on the business, then work on it some more, all the while feeling proud of what they're creating. So how can you learn more about King Dough?
King Dough Pizza, no spaces. So yeah, Facebook.
We have a website, kingdough.com.
And kingdough.com. And that has links to all of our stuff and our menus. And we have a blog about to pop up with like events that we'll be having and specials and hopefully like highlights on farmers that we do deal with. And again, probably just things like this, like the headaches of how we got to where we are now, sort of thing.
What not to do.
Yeah, and what to do.
Special thanks to Adam and Alicia Sweet for taking the time to share their story with us. See pictures of Adam and Alicia with their crew at kingdough.com. Follow them on Facebook and laugh with us following them on Instagram at King Dough Pizza. If you enjoyed this podcast, there are a couple of things we need you to do right now. First, subscribe to Scratch Entrepreneur on iTunes so you can hear future episodes as soon as we release them. Once that's done, please share a link to this episode on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're social. We sincerely appreciate you listening. Shine on.